Hello, everybody. Looking around us, we'll definitely find a lot of dangers that are threatening our mere existence, including that of refugees, for instance, coming to our country from Sudan, from other Arab countries, or even the Israeli occupation of Palestine. So the problem of incubation and the problem of the other is always trying to threaten us. So how can we handle these foreign dangers that are coming from foreigners? In order to reach the best way to handle this danger, we have to resort to what Aristotle has said. Aristotle is calling on us to study the circumstances under which we are fighting all our enemies surrounding us from, uh, from even from one side. So we have to as Aristotle has said, there is a golden mean that lies between two vices. For instance, the virtue of courage is besets to lies between the vices of rashness on the one side, which is too much of rashness is too much of courage, and we have on the other side cowardice, which is too little of courage. So, as Aristotle has said, the courage is the golden mean that we have to adhere to. The virtue of courage is a golden mean between these two vices. But how can we reach this golden mean? At the same time, how can we handle our enemies forcibly and we can uh, reach all our goal and defend ourselves against this danger? The first step is to study the circumstances. Then we can decide for ourselves the best way to handle this danger. If we are so powerful and the enemy is too weak, so we have the morality. We have to be moral enough to accept this weak danger to live next to us as long as they do not pose any problem for us. The refugees, for instance, are too weak, so as long as they do not pose any significant harm to us, so we can allow them to live next door. When the foreigners pose much are more dangerous, so we have to find the most the best way. The best way is based on reading very well the circumstances under which we are fighting them. If they are too powerful and we are too weak, so we have to see how we have to resist them anyway in not a grand scale manner, but in a militia, as they said, in a very focused way, as a militia keep doing, and they get a lot good results. For instance, Palestinian resistance are building tunnels, so are planned a lot of time, so managed to withstand the Israeli occupation up till now for for up to 2 years. So even if Palestinians are too weak uh, as compared to the Israeli occupation, so they managed to achieve the goal of withstanding Israeli occupation. So sparked the October 7th attack, which drew the world attention to the Palestinian cause. But after this happened, the same resistance movements have to Read also the circumstances in to abide to the wisdom of Aristotle, who advocates the advocates the importance of reading the circumstances. So we find that a lot of people who are hungry, a lot of starvation. We reach a situation where the resistance as it used to do its operation, its military operation against Israel, cannot continue the same way because we have a catastrophe on the Palestinian side. So the leaders of resistance in Palestine, who are now Hamas movement, have to reconsider their strategy and to start to uh, to tap the solution of a peace with Israel. Hamas, it's difficult for Hamas to do this because if they released their hostages, the Israeli hostages they have, they will lose every any card they have to retain their existence as an organization. So it would be very difficult for them to decide to lay down arms for fear of being obliterated by Israel. They will lose any card that allows them to fight Israel and retain its members as they are without being dismantled. So, but Hamas movement has to be prudent enough to take this decision now for fear in order if, for fear of uh, deepening the crisis, the humanitarian crisis amongst Palestinians. We see hunger, we see starvation. So upon reading the circumstances, they have to take the right decision, which is that of releasing the hostages and start, if they were asked to lay down arms, okay, and to reach a peaceful solution under which a Palestinian state can exist next door to an Israeli one. I think this would be a very big. Even Israel refuses this solution. They consider that accepting a Palestinian state next door would be giving Hamas the benefit of it. It would as if they are giving Hamas uh, a reward. Israel does not want to reward Hamas by accepting the existence of a Palestinian state. They say that there was a status quo, a Palestinian state in Gaza under Hamas, but Hamas organization made its October 7th attack. So they say that after October 7th, they will not allow for the existence of Palestinian state because otherwise the October 7th attack could be repeated. So we have here, when speaking about Israel, we have two wings. We have two wings, one a secular one and a right wing one. The right wing one is the most extremist one. It is the one who wants to build an Israeli empire stretching from the Nile River to the Euphrates River. For this to happen, they fuel hatred against the Jews. So they say that all our neighbors are hating us. So there is no way for us to exist in this region unless we build an empire stretching from the Nile to the Euphrates River. So this is the extremist wing in Israel. So we have to not give the chance for this extremist wing to continue as potential or as powerful wing in Israel by means of accepting the peace proposal. If the Palestinian, if Hamas accepted the peace proposal for building a two-state solution, if they accepted the two-state solution, there the extremist wing in Israel will be its voice would be deafened, so that on the same and the peaceful wing, who are the secularists, would be made more stronger, would be emboldened. So if a two-state solution would be the best solution at the present circumstances for all parties. And additionally, we find that we have to, in the normal times, in any state, any country, we have minorities. So we have to prove that Palestinians can coexist with any minority. If the Palestinians were the minority, so they would be able to coexist with the majority of Israelis, for instance. Whoever was the minority and whoever was the majority both have to live next to each other. This is a problem that is actually facing the Middle East. We have to learn how to live next door to minorities and with majorities. Otherwise, we build our separate states. It would be difficult if every minority decides to build its own state. It would be disastrous. We see the Kurds have laid down their arms and decided to stop the military war against Turkey. And on the same vein, we have to learn in the Middle East how to treat minorities. We see the Druze in Syria, how they were treated by Syria's new rulers, and Israel was invited by them to launch attacks against the new Syrian authority. The Druze are welcoming the existence of Israel and the assistance that Israel has given them. So we see that we have to tolerate and coexist with any minority, and this is speaking about how to handle dangers. I started off my speech about saying that we have to handle all the outside dangerous, be they the refugees or the invaders. But the people who are living next door, we see if we can live next door with them. There is no problem. There would not be any problem. So we have to study for ourselves in order to 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 withstand any danger coming from foreigners or from any other groups, that we have to study whether they pose a very danger or not. Who the party who can study this are should be a top planners who can study. There must be an or a top planners who can do the job of planning and deciding whether war is the right would be the right decision or peace would be the right decision, and upon which they can reach the best conclusion for the whole community and for all people, whether they are minorities or majorities, in adherence to Aristotle's wisdom, which calls for taking the path of the middle, to take the path of the and to adhere to the golden mean that lies between two vices. So, if we did so, it would be better for, if you are rational being, we are human beings who are using their reasoning, and we deserve to be God's favorite creature. Thank you for watching and see you next time.